individual seated to my left. I tell you, there are lots of things that the division. Sergeant First Class Johnson taking high honors with 35 years of service. They've all completed combat tours and probably have many stories of some truly great experiences and fun times while deployed. They probably have some not so great memories also. The average among the group is 2.5 years of combat time with Lieutenant Colonel Scott and Sergeants First Class Reed and Boyle splitting high honors with 4 deployments each. On average, for those that are married, the members have been married for 14 years, with Sergeant First Class Johnson again taking honors with 33 years of marriage to his wife Joanna, while Lieutenant Colonel Scott and his wife Toby are runners-up with 22 years. It's clear to me at this point that Sergeant First Class Johnson is striving to be the distinguished honor grad of today's class. Their service has seen them do a lot of things and go a lot of places. With this group having served in 49 different assignment locations across the world and over 100 PCS moves. Indeed, their stories are all different, but in many ways they're the same. And they're the same as thousands of soldiers who preceded them down this path, and that they are filled with highs and lows, great individual and team accomplishments, and dozens of really good lifelong friends met along the way. But as we look back at their past, I think it's important to stop for a second and think about what they mean to the future of our Army. For the last decade plus, the soldiers seated here have carried the burden of combat and led America's most precious assets, our sons and daughters. They've led them through difficult times in combat. And as we've completed a period of continuous deployments and entered a turbulent transition period for our Army, these soldiers have provided the stability required to chart our Army's path going forward. They've had the experience. They were the old school guys and girls who leaned out to teach our young soldiers what right looked like. And they were responsible for coaching, teaching, mentoring, and nurturing the young soldiers that will lead our Army through the next 3 decades. We owe a deep debt of gratitude to each of you and congratulate you today for the great accomplishment. Thank you all. And with that, we'll get to the best part of this ceremony. That is the time that we take to recognize each of our retirees individually and get to meet a lot of their friends and family members.
Lieutenant Colonel Brian Scott, accompanied by his spouse of 22 years, Mrs. Toby Scott. They also have 2 children. Mrs. Scott is now receiving a single red rose and a certificate of appreciation signed by General Raymond T. Odierno, United States Army Chief of Staff, for her support and contributions.